Yang terhormat Direktur Islamic Cultural Center ICC Jakarta, Prof Dr. Abdol Majid Hakimelah. Yang terhormat Sekretaris Jenderal Majma Takrik, Prof Dr. Yang kami hormati Kepala Organisasi Riset Arkeologi, Bahasa, dan Sastra, Badan Riset dan Inovasi Nasional, Dr. Herry Yogaswara. Yang kami hormati para Kepala Pusat Riset di lingkungan Organisasi Riset Arkeologi, Bahasa, dan Sastra. Yang kami hormati Dr. Aji Sofanudin MA dan Dr. Fahriyati MA sebagai narasumber kegiatan pada pagi hari ini, dan seluruh hadirin yang berbahagia.
The Honorable Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran, His Excellency Mr. Mehdi Rona, the Honorable Cultural Attaché of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Dr. Ibrahimi, the Honorable Director of Islamic Cultural Center, ICC Jakarta, Profesor Dr. Abdol Majid Hakimelah, the Honorable General Secretary of Majma Takdim, Profesor Dr. Ayatullah Syahriari, the Honorable Head of the Arkeologi, Language and Literature Research Organization of the National Research and Innovation Agency, Dr. Herry Yogaswara, Master of Arts, the Honorable Head of all Research Centers in the Arkeologi, Language and Literature Research Organization, the Honorable Speakers of the discussion today, Dr. Aji Sofanudin, Master of Arts, and Dr. Fahriyati, Master of Arts. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, greetings to all of you, good morning.
Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, untuk mengawali acara pada pagi hari ini, marilah kita menyimak lagu Islam Iran.
Listening to the national anthem of the Republic of Indonesia and the Islamic Republic of Iran, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, you may stand up.
Aku berdiri dari Bandung itu, bangsa dan tanah air, marilah kita bersatu. Tanahku kehidupan bangsaku rakyatku semua, yang dibangun Indonesia Raya, Indonesia Raya, merdeka, tanahku yang itu yang suci. Indonesia merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, tanahku yang suci. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia.
In this case, ladies and gentlemen, please have a seat.
Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, berikutnya kita akan simak bersama sambutan dari Kepala Organisasi Riset Arkeologi Bahasa dan Sastra, Badan Riset dan Inovasi Nasional, Dr. Herry Yogaswara M.Hum.
The opening speech will be delivered by the head of the Arkeologi, Language and Literature Research Organization, Dr. Herry Yogaswara, Master of Arts. The floor is yours.
Thank you. The Honorable of the Ambassador, Islamic Republic Iran for Indonesia, His Excellency Dr. Romak. We are still waiting for him on the way. The Honorable, the Cultural Consulate of the Republic of Islam Iran in Jakarta, Dr. Ibrahim. The Honorable Professor Dr. Ayatullah Syariyari, General Secretary of Majid. The Honorable Professor Dr. Abdol Majid Hakimelah, Direktur ICC Jakarta, and the Honorable Head of the Organization of Social Science and Humanity, Professor Ahmad Najib Burhani, or representing me. The Honorable Head of Research Center, Agama and Kepercayaan of BRIN, Pak Haji Sofiatulin. The Honorable the Head of Research Center in Arkeologi, Language and Literature of BRIN. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, in this room and also in virtual space. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and selamat pagi. It is an honor for me to speak in front of all of you on this occasion. I am Herry Yogaswara, Head of Research Organization, Arkeologi, Language and Literature, on behalf of Badan Riset and Inovasi Nasional, National Research and Innovation Agency. Welcome all of you in we call the Kawasan Site of Scientific Area of Sarwono, Prawiro Diharjo, as home base of the Research Organization of Arkeologi, Language and Literature. Sarwono, Prawiro Diharjo is the founder of Indonesia Institute of Science, founded in 1986. BRIN is a new and only government research institute in Indonesia based on Presidential Decree number 78, 2021, based on integration from 5 major previous research institutes, namely LIPI, BPPT, LAPAN, Banten, Research and Technology, and all the research and development unit in Minister and Institute in Indonesia. There are around 15,000 researchers and their management support in all areas of Indonesia. Meaning to say, Professor, BRIN is quite big, if we talk about the research organization. Actually, there are 7 deputies and 12 research organizations, including 87 research centers. Among 12 research organizations, actually there are 3 research organizations related to social science and humanity, namely Research Organization, Social Sciences and Humanities, Research Organization, Governance, Economic Development and Social Welfare, and Research Organization, Arkeologi, Language. Our research organization actually composed of 3 research centers related to archaeology, 3 research centers related to language and literature, and 1 research center related to religion and civilization. One of research center initiated this memorandum of understanding, namely Research Center, Manuscript, Literature, and Oral Tradition. Thank you for Sastri to initiate this MoU. However, this MoU is at the level of BRIN. If we call the level of BRIN, meaning to say could be used for other research center and other research organization who have research or collaboration Understanding, yeah, about the history, relationship, cultural relationship between Persia and Indonesia. It means our relationship between Nusantara, we call Nusantara as a cultural landscape, and Indonesia as a state has a long relationship. And in the breakfasting informal meeting, buka puasa bersama ya, on the last Ramadan of 2023, we agree to speed up our MoU. Actually, MoU is start 2022, and I know so many visitings maybe in BHKS, and we try to speed up our MoU and agree to have an exchange program, research collaboration, research publication, and scientific. If we talk about scientific fora, actually related to the webinar, seminar, workshop, conferences, and other means of collaboration. I think after we sign this MoU, we should immediately take action through several activities related to exchange program and research collaboration. I heard from the neighbor world, some researchers from BRIN and ICC are preparing for this proposals. And also in BRIN, with our several skills in BRIN, including talent management and also research facilities, we are inviting also social and humanities researchers from Iran to be visiting researcher and also postdoctoral under this MoU through ICC. Meaning to say, other scholars from Iran can do work here in Indonesia through this MoU. Meaning to say, they need to talk first with ICC if they would like to do research in Indonesia. I do hope MoU will strengthen the relationship between Indonesia and Iran through research collaboration in the area of short course in archaeology, manuscript, oral tradition, language, and literature. Exchange program, exchange program, I mean to say postdoc, visiting researcher program, and also public lecture. We really waiting for the sub-lecturer from Iran to share knowledge in Indonesia, collaborative research and projects, joint seminar, workshop, and conferences, and also joint publication. Also, the library development. I saw library in ICC is very, very nice. Also, learning of Persia and Indonesia culture and language, and Persia and Nusantara cultural network. Actually, there are several potential research collaboration for the near future, such as the Nusantara cultural influence in Persia as a result of cultural contact from the past, including spice route and other activities. Because many research actually talk about what the Persia influence in Nusantara, but we are trying to explore how the Nusantara influence in the Persia area. And also, secondly, is tracing the story to reflect relationship between the two countries related to 10 years of relationship between Nusantara and Persia. And also, how Islamic civilization in both countries that Muslim majority countries that we can show to the world how to bring peace to the world, yeah, to learn from Iran and also learn from Indonesia. And also to countries are rich of manuscript as a source of knowledge. I think we need to export it and explore and tracing ship, belt, and spice road as sources of civilization. Again, the most important from the signing of the MoU is how to implement this MoU, not only the signing. Okay? In Bahasa we call do not have MoU bodoh. Yeah? Just have MoU but no activities. I don't want to do it. Yeah? I hope this presence of the General Secretary and Director ICC of Jakarta and also His Excellency Ambassador of Iran in Jakarta in this meeting is a good and I think great signal for us. Our MoU will be implemented soon. Thank you to all participants of the discussion in this room and also the virtual participation and all persons who make this occasion happen. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kami ucapkan kepada Dr. Herry Yogaswara M.Hum atas sambutan. Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, selanjutnya kita akan simak bersama sambutan dari Direktur Islamic Cultural Center ICC Jakarta, Prof Dr. Majid Hakimelah.
The next agenda is the opening speech from the Director of the Islamic Cultural Center ICC Jakarta. Hakimelah, the floor is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَبِهِ نَسْتَعِينُ وَهُوَ خَيْرُ نَاصِرٍ وَمُعِينٍ. Gentlemen, distinguished guests, my colleagues, my brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude and thankfulness to the BRIN and this very important institution, and also for the head of this institution and members, lecturers, professors, doctors, and colleagues of this distinguished and respected institution, BRIN. We were looking for working together and helping and giving services to the society, to the people, to our brothers and sisters, whether here in Indonesia or in Southeast Asia or in Middle East, in Iran. As you know, at the moment, the world became very limited and closer and closer and closer. Really, at the moment, we can say that the whole world became a village. Now, we are as elder of the brothers and sisters in the whole world. We have a responsibility to bring peace, knowledge to the society. At the moment, we are facing a lot of challenges, a lot of problems. What we can do and what we have to do towards these challenges? Shall we have to fight each other, struggle, continue our challenges, or we have to put our hands together and think about solution for our challenges? There are a lot of companies, countries, or people. They to sell their products, their weapons, their goods. If they cannot bring the war between two countries, they have to bring challenges between these two countries. And all the time, these countries not be peace and not be on the war. We see between the majority of the countries when they wanted to divide the countries to this map, they brought some area which is subject of challenges between these two countries. For instance, I am living in Iran. The England, when wanted to divide and bring borders between Iran and some Arab countries, there are three islands. They couldn't make it clear that this island belongs to Iran or to another country. So now it's 100 years, we are facing a lot of problems. In Africa, when the Britain wanted to divide Ghana from Togo, he makes some piece of land, doesn't mention, belongs to which country. Now it's 50 years, we are fighting each other. This country says belongs to me. Another country says belongs to me. Why Britain did that? Because he wanted to be all the time conflict, challenging between these two countries, and he sells his weapons to both countries. This is one challenges which we are facing now. What we have to do with these challenges? Continue, keep quiet, fighting, struggling, killing each other, or no? There is the solution for these challenges. And who is the priority for solving this challenging? Is it the ordinary people or elites, professors, lecturers, or the universities, or research centers? Which one can bring solution for the country? We are facing another problem. I remember when I was young, 10 years old, when I was leaving my house, my mom and my father were looking for me. I have to come back very soon at my room, private room. Don't go out. If I was late, even for 5 minutes, I have to respond to them where I was. Even they were sending to me some my brothers or sisters and calling me coming back. When I wanted to go to somewhere out of my house, they were following me. Okay, where do you want to go? We are coming with you and come back very soon. Go to your room. When I was at my room, they were happy and never they were thinking bad about me. But the situation now is different. Although in my house, we have a lot of rooms, but we ask boys, they have to stay together in one room. They have to sleep together. They should not be everyone in one room, private. But in the before, never they were scared or afraid when I'm at my room. They said, okay, don't go out, come inside. But now we say, go out, don't be alone. Because this is the situation exactly is changed. This is one problem which we are facing. Please, I target an object of a lot of questions from the parents are coming to me and say the moral and the behavior of our children is different. This is one challenge. The third challenge which we are facing in our life and current age is the gap and distance between new generation and old and previous generation. Exactly. We think, or we can say that this new generation is something new. Allah created them new. There's Adam alayhi salam when Allah created Adam and Hawa new. This generation, new generation, completely is different from the last generation. Is it good? Do they proud of their identity? Do they proud of their identity? No. Do they want to have a scripture? What we had it before. This gap between the last and current age. Last time and current age. There are a lot of different challenges which we are facing in our age. So, but there is another challenge, which is the subject of this webinar or seminar or academic meeting, which we are talking about. You know, there are three types of exegesis or tafsir or understanding of Islam. The first tafsir and understanding and reading of Islam is Islam fundamentalists or extremists. They want to fight everyone. They believe that no one is believer except themselves. So whether Shia, Sunni, Christian, Jews, or any other people, they want always to fight the people, killing them, behead them. This is one reading from Islam. Exactly. When they behead other people, they say Allahu Akbar. Before beheading innocent people, they recite some verses of the Holy Quran. And the base of the verses of the Holy Quran and the base all depend on some traditions, hadiths, they want to behead innocent people. You are facing big problem. It's not only in Afghanistan or in Iraq or in Syria, but it happened even in Indonesia. It happened in London. It happened hadith. What's the problem? What's the problem? Why? For instance, when Wahhabist people, they want to interpret Islam, they said all people are unbeliever, kafir, sheikh, kufr, bid'ah. Even if you want to have Mawlid al-Nabi, they say no, it's not allowed in Islam. Even if you want to have something for respecting others, standing before some people when they come and enter to the room, said no, this is haram. This is haram. Why? They will recite some verses of the Holy Quran. Exactly, these people memorize in the Holy Quran more than others. This is very important. They recite the hadith. Have you heard these people, when they kill innocent people, to say that the shaitan asked us to do that? No, they say the Holy Quran. And they recite some verses of the Holy Quran. And those people also who follow their liberalism and they don't think about our cultural Islamic values, also they bring some verses of the Holy Quran. And also the second interpretation of the Holy Quran, of the Islam also depends on the Holy Quran. This is a big challenge which we are facing in our life, and we have solved this challenge. No. Another challenge is social media. Can you say to your children, to your family, don't use mobile? Can you off internet in your house? Never. I tried. I couldn't. I wanted to stop Wi-Fi in my house, but I saw they will buy it from the shop. Even I took the SIM card. I saw my little boy, 3 years old, is going behind the window and using Wi-Fi of the neighbor. Also, he has password, but I don't know how he could predict the password. He's 2 years old. I don't know. He's using internet of my neighbor, internet of some other people, and watching movie, watching YouTube, watching everything. Sometimes I was sitting behind them and talking to them up to 12. I wanted them to become tired, and they go and sleep. But they make me tired, I sleep, they don't sleep. Actually, we cannot stop it. It's everywhere, in all houses, in all offices. But we should keep our family far from the side and dark aspect of social media. Can you ask your children that don't use WhatsApp, don't use Telegram, don't use YouTube? Never, I couldn't. I don't know how you. I tried. But sometimes he was telling me that, Baba, I have to use my classes because my class is online class. I didn't pay for my Wi-Fi, but I saw some of his classes on the online. I was forced to pay again for the Wi-Fi, and he was using Wi-Fi, but I'm not free all the time, 24 hours sitting behind him, sitting with him, aside him. and watching what I did. And even in the night, midnight, maybe I will go to take his mobile to watch what he did it, but he can clean it when he want to sleep. So, please, these are the problem which we are facing it. For understanding Islam, for the values, for social media, and in the near future, but started now, some very, very most developed technology at the moment, artificial intelligence. Ready for understanding, analyzing, understanding these problems and analyze it. But only the place which can bring the solution to the countries, to the conflict, to the challenges is research centers, or you can call it BRIN. Because the people and the members who are gathered in this place, they pass all academic learning and academic institution. They finish their schools, they finish their university. Now, this is the time for their fruit. Because of that, as you know, all which the ulamas they started without mentioning their name that this is from Israel. Even in our country, do you know our relationship with Israel? How is it? Even in our country, they started to do research and they published some books, but they didn't know it's from where. They published 2 volumes of books, which is contain a lot of letters which ulama al-Islam, scholars in Islam, and Jews, they wrote letter each to other and exchanging letter each to other. Outside of technology. So they did this and they published it. So they brought to a lot of countries, look at it. How they were friends, but why now we are not friends? This is one. By this, they could, after that, when they wanted to implement it, during a few months, they did it. But we didn't look at the background. You know, even they started to bring opera in religion, maybe you had it, in Emirates, when they build something. Please, this didn't come out of investigation of the research. They did a lot of research. After that, they implemented. Now, you see some countries are very rich. Do you think only the minister decided that? Project or this one or that? No. They did a lot of research. After that, they could reach to this level. I wanted to mention the importance of the research center BRIN. If we have problem, whether a social problem, academic problems, any types of moral problems, family problems, this is not something. Even corruption in the country. A lot of countries are facing corruption. The corruption, the solution is not to arrest the minister with $1 million, $2 million, and jail him. No, you arrest this one, but there are a lot of others. The system, who is the one and right person to bring the system for stopping corruption? Means the research. So because a lot of countries, European countries, are spending a lot of How is the budget of Minister of Education in this country? 30% of that budget should come to the research centers for everything to do research. However, sorry, I spoke a lot and I do apologize for talking more and more and more. I think there are a lot of opportunities between us and you, which all the time, that's okay. I was okay.
We say welcome to the Honorable Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran, His Excellency Mr. Mahdi Rona.
All right.
Excellency Mr. Dr. Ibrahim, Chancellor of Antara.
Yeah. Okay. We welcome Honorable Ayatollah Professor Dr. Hamid Shahriari. Actually, is one of elites in Iran, and at the moment, he is Director General of Al-Majma' Al-Alami Al-Taqrib Bain Al-Madahib. They have also university, and he's a professor at the university, different universities, and at the moment, at the same time, he's a professor at the seminary school. He wrote a lot of books. We welcome him and his delegation, and with him, Dr. Mohsen Mesri is deputy, and also Dr. Mortadari is one of his deputy, international deputy, and also Dr. Ibrahimi is cultural consulate of Iranian embassy. Also, Dr. Nouri is vice president for Al-Majma' Once again, thank you very much for coming here, Professor Ayatollah Shahriari. So I will reach to my conclusion. Please, there are a lot of opportunities for us to work together. Inshallah, we are going to sign our MoU, Memorandum of Understanding. And as my colleague mentioned, that is not only signing our MoU, but we have to implement it, practice it, and make it real. It's not only talking and we live here. Inshallah, we could have a lot of exchanging of lecturers, researchers, publishing books, magazine, academic journal, and as well as exchanging of visiting between your respected institution, BRIN, and some other institution in Iran. Thank you very much again, and I apologize for talking too much. My time was maybe for 10 minutes, but I spoke more than 1 hour because I don't know when I start talking, I cannot stop. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you for the enlightening talking, Professor.
Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, demi kelancaran acara pada siang hari ini, marilah bersama-sama
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Rela sejenak kita sama-sama menyampaikan doa kepada Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala agar jalan kita pada hari ini dalam rangka penandatanganan kerjasama BRIN dan ICC dapat berjalan dengan lancar dan memberikan manfaat bagi semua pihak. Ala hadinya wa ala kulli niyatin shalihah wa ila hadirin al-Fatihah. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in ihdinas siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Hamdan yuafi ni'amahu wa yukafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu wa lakal syukru kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karim wa 'azimi sultanik. Allahumma shalli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali sayyidina Muhammad. Salatan tunjina biha min jami'il ahwali wal afat wa taqdi lana biha jami'al hajat wa tutahhiruna biha min jami'is sayyi'at wa tarfa'una biha indaka 'ala darajat wa tuballighuna biha aqsal ghayat min jami'il khairat fil hayat ba'da al-mamat. Allahumma arina al-haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'ahu wa arina al-batila batilan warzuqna ijtinabah. Allahumma la tada' lana dhanban illa ghafartah wa la hamman illa farajtah wa la 'aiban illa satartah wa la dainan illa qadaitah wa la sallaman illa shafaitah wa la hajatan illa qadaitah wa yassartah wa yassir lana umurana washrah sudurana wa nawwir qulubana wa khtim bis salihati a'malana. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Salamun 'alal mursalin walhamdulillahi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih kami ucapkan kepada Bapak Muhammad Rosadi. Hadirin yang kami hormati, acara berikutnya adalah penandatanganan Nota Kesepahaman Arkeologi Bahasa dan Sastra Badan Riset dan Inovasi Nasional dengan Islamic Cultural Center ICC Jakarta. Dilanjutkan dengan penyerahan plakat dan foto bersama.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is signing the Memorandum of Understanding between the Arkeologi, Language and Literature Research Organization and the Islamic Cultural Center Jakarta, followed by placard giving and a photo session. This agenda will be led by the Law and Cooperation Bureau of the National Research and Innovation Agency.
Signing.
We are signing now. Okay. Okay. Okay, sorry. There's token of appreciation, I think this is from.
Okay, thank you.
Oleh.
Okay, thank you. Yes. What's his name?
Di sini.
Baik, kami ucapkan terima kasih kepada Kepala Organisasi Riset Arkeologi Bahasa dan Sastra dan Direktur ICC Jakarta. Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, sebelum kita mengikuti kegiatan diskusi, kita akan ada sesi coffee break selama kurang lebih 10 hingga 15 menit.
So, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your participation. And before we move to the discussion today, we'll have the coffee break for about 10 until 15 minutes. And I also welcome His Excellency Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Thank you.
trip, and we had 11 MoUs and agreements signed between two countries in a lot of fields. For example, about energy, about the cultural, about the affairs. Also, thanks God, we have a very good relation in the international organizations, especially about the human rights affairs. All the times, Indonesia support us, very thanks, and also we have a good cooperation between the countries, between our delegations in United Nations and the other international regional organizations. And also about our trade relation between Indonesia and Islamic Republic of Iran. Thanks God, we have some agreements and MOUs. Our relation, bilateral relation, more than $1.1 billion. Our delegation from our Excellency President agreed with his counterpart, Excellency Joko Widodo. They discussed about cooperation of more than $20 billion. Some areas for the cooperation. For example, about the export and import of halal products, and also the other fields. For your information, the latest news for you from the BRIN. We have the next week, we have a very good delegations from the BRIN to Iran next week, and also for the after 2 weeks, also we have the other delegation from BRIN to Iran, because we have a very good opportunity. The new technologies, we are signing new studies about the nano biotechnologies, and also, as I don't know, you have any information about our export for the robotic surgery. We export 2 kinds to Indonesia, and the Indonesian side welcome. It's a very, very good opportunity for cooperation about the health and also the hospital equipment. Also, for this reason, now we have a very agreement between BRIN and our Iranian side. Also, we have the other agreement between our BRIN and our Vice President Department for the Science and Technology. It's a very good news for the Iranian, for the Indonesian side. Also, in the political affairs, we have every year we have dialogues between our ministers, our vice ministers, our deputy minister of foreign affairs in 2 countries, and we discuss about some international and bilateral, multilateral affairs about this area. We have a negotiation. Also, all the time we have a very good relation in OIC, Islamic Conference Organization, and also the other national organizations, especially in the United Nations. And we will thanks from the Indonesian government all the time, support us Iranian human rights affairs also in the other fields. And the other fields about our trade relation. We thinking about the opportunity, more and more opportunity for 2 countries, for 2 companies. Our Iranian very big companies would like to come to Indonesia to investment and participate in the new capital reality. And also the other field in the economy, it's very important, is about the energy. Energy is very important. We We had some years ago would export petroleum and LPG gas for Indonesia. Also, we have a new agreement signed during our president year, and we started new work and new trying to increasing relation between two countries in this field, and also about the petrochemical affairs, and also in the health, in the hospital equipments. Also, we have a very good relation. We have a very good some documents. For this reason, this is a very good opportunity and to increasing countries and about the our parliament relation. 2 weeks ago, we had a very big delegation from the parliament of the Indonesia went to the Iranian parliament, and they have very good negotiation with the Iranian counterparts. Also, they have a very good meeting with our authorities, our government departments. Also, we have a very good relation, very good negotiation with the international parliament conference all the years. This is a very short our affairs of our relation. We have also we are two very big Islamic conference, Islamic country, and the opportunity to cooperate in these fields. It's a lot about the Islamic affairs, about the political affairs, about the parliament, about the economy also. It must be true using this opportunity for two countries. Thank you very much for this time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for His Excellency Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran for your speech.
Hadirin yang kami hormati, acara berikutnya adalah diskusi dengan tema Moderasi Beragama dalam Dinamika Peradaban Persia dan Nusantara. Dan sebagai moderator pada siang hari ini adalah Kepala Pusat Riset Bahasa, Sastra, dan Ibu Ade Mulyanah M.Hum.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is the discussion under the Moderasi Beragama dalam Dinamika Peradaban Persia dan Nusantara theme. The discussion will be led by the head of the Language, Literature, and Community Research Center, Ade Mulyanah, Sarjana Pendidikan, Magister Humaniora. Ibu Ade, the floor is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Professor Dr. Ayatullah Sahyari, General Secretary of Majna Tarif. Good morning, sir. The Honorable Ambassador of Republic Islam Iran Indonesia, His Excellency Dr. Mahdi Runat. Good morning, sir. And also the Honorable Professor Dr. Abdol Majid Hakimelah, Director of Islamic Cultural Center, Jakarta. And also I would like to say good morning also to the Honorable, the Qatar's Council of Republic Islam Iran in Jakarta, Dr. Ibrahim. Good morning, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the audience and invited speakers and attendees, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. Today's webinar is also in conduct or implementation for the signing of memorandum of understanding between National Research and National Innovation Agency BRIN and Islamic Cultural Center or ICC. The topic today related to today's session is religious moderation in dynamic of Persian and the Nusantara civilization, or moderasi beragama dalam dinamika peradaban Persia dan Nusantara. Dear audience, invited speakers, attendees, ladies and gentlemen, who are willing to attend here in person in this room or virtually. Welcome everyone to the discussion session. Before we start,
I am a PhD in comparative philosophy, and my branch of knowledge and field of knowledge is the philosophy of morality or ethics. So I am a professor in the explanation of values, actually, and the good and evil of the human action. You may have, we may have in this room several branches of knowledge. So because I want to very briefly refer to what does ethics means when we look at it as a branch of knowledge. I don't know if we have any person here who is expert in philosophy or not, because this kind of branch is very rare normally. I don't know if there is any philosophy in this room, or most of them are in only linguistic. Sometimes linguistic and theology are so you are too far from each other actually. But literature sometimes comes with philosophy because we have this kind of philosophy between the kind of linguistic and so, however, morality refers to human being action and evaluating the action of human being according to good and evil. And sometimes the action of human being is good and some action are evil. So philosophy of morality or ethics is trying to explain the basis of goodness and badness of human action. What is the basis of the goodness and badness of human beings? The second point I want to mention is that in Iran, actually, we have liberty of choosing their religion. Everybody can choose his own religion, his own way of living, actually. And we have, during more than 2,500 years, the liberty of religion in Iran, even before Islam and after Islam, all we live with each other. You know that the Iranian was Zoroastrian before Islam coming to our country. And now we have all Zoroastrian inside the Yazd and inside the Tehran. Even if we have a temple of the fire, is firing for more than 300 years in Tehran. I saw them and they come over there and they worship some kind of worshiping the fire as something which is eternal. And they have their own living. And I am living in Tehran in a street, which one street beside me, they are living Jewish people. They have their own temple and they take part, they call it kanisa. They take part with their own, and because I am living on fourth floor, over there, we call them Turkmen, which is the near border of Turkmenistan, which is our neighbor in our region. So before the Islamic, you can see the spirituality of Iranian. Normally, we are proud of it. Is that when Jewish people were under the overrule of Sumerian in Babylon, they were captivated by Sumerian, and they forced to live in Babylon. And the Sumerian do not allow them to go back to Israel, to their own land. But when Cyrus the Romanian, 2,500 years ago, when they overruled the Sumerian and captured Babylon, they make them free to go back to their home. And this was aid of the Jewish people. This day was aid, was what we call it, a ceremony. Eid of the Jewish people, because the Cyrus revealed them to go back to the Palestine, their home. And this is our actually a spirituality that we allow the other to choose their own religion and their own. And also you should know that Iran is not only the Muslim or not only Shia. There are many Sunnis living beside us in our border provinces. We call it the ethnic group. We have more than 10 ethnic groups inside Iran, and each ethnic group has their own religion. So this is the situation in Iran. I want to give you a big picture, and but very in summary, that we are living like this in Iran, and you can come and see all religions is observing their own rules. So Iran is the country of liberty to choose their religion. Iran is the country of tolerance of the other, and although inside our constitution it's written that Iran is a Shia country, but it doesn't mean that we do not allow any other country. So we have tolerance. That and inside our constitution it's written that Shafi'is, Hanbalis, Malikis, and other sects of Islamic religion can be observed by their own observer. So we have tolerance. We give value to ethnicity of the people. Many ethnicity we have many languages that besides Persian we have in our country. We have Baluchi, we have Kurdi, we have Arab talking, we have Turkmen talking, we have Turk talking, and several languages we have inside our country, and they have their own TV in their own language. And besides this, the normal talking is in Persian. Everybody can understand and talk in Persian. It is a situation of Iran, the second. But what I want to mention here, because they told me that I should talk about the al-Wasatiyya, Islam, and the meaning of it. I want to refer to some of my researches that I have done in the value, Islamic value actually. I call it the pyramid of value. Before I explain this idea, I would like to make a question. What do you think that it is the most important value in the human being's living? If you want to choose only one value of human, what is this value which you choose? This is the most important question in ethics. If you answer this question, it means that you are the philosopher of ethics. The first man who answered this question was Aristotle. He says that we have 4 values at the top of the pyramid. And first is wisdom. Second is justice. Third is braveness. And the fourth is chastity or isbah. Okay, these are four basic value in thinking of Aristotelian ethics. So again, come back to the question. What do you think that, what is the most important value and virtue in our life? Because before we answer this question, we should give you an index and criteria to make understand what is the most important. And the criteria is that if two virtues conflict with each other, which one do you choose? Because sometimes in our life, the virtues conflict. You should choose one of them. Sometimes when you are living, you cannot gather all of the virtues in one time. In one time, you should only choose one of them. Because of the situation of living, you are not. For example, if you have a promise to come here at 10 o'clock, so the making your promise is a virtue that we observe our promises. At the same time, you are sitting in a place that a very important person is sitting here, you speaking, and observing the professor who I was his student is also a virtue. It's virtue to observe our professors, because they teach us and we are his servant actually. As I can see in Indonesia, every student in the seminary doing like this. It was very nice for me, this kind of regulation in the seminary. So what should we do if we have a promise and at the same time my professors don't know and that I have a promise and he is talking and I should reach his talking and go to my promise. So here, observing respected people is a virtue, as well keeping your promise is virtue, but you cannot observe both of them. You should choose one of them. Which one do you choose? If you can give me a criteria, it means that you are the professor of ethics. So, come to the explanation. First of all, I should say that al-wasatiyya is a virtue. Why? Because it contains tolerance. It contains the liberty of choosing. It contains that human rights to choose their way of living, their way of life. So it is a virtue. But the question is, do we have more important virtue than al-wasatiyya? For example, keeping the truth or forcing the truth for the others. When you see that the people are going wrong way, for example, those who are blind, sometimes they are going wrong way. They are going to the street and the car may beat him. You keep him to the right way, but he rejects you. He wants to go his way. He insists. Look at your young people who are under your family. Sometimes they want to keep their way, and you try your best to bring it back to the way you think that it is the right way. As a mother or father, it's not our responsibility to train our children. We cannot accept that our children going wrong way, even if we can do it by force. Maybe sometimes I keep my children to come to the right way. But sometimes you may say that, okay, if I force it, so he or she may think that I prevent him from item that he has in, or she has in his life. prevent them from the ideals. So because of this, maybe I choose in my life myself, I remind him or her that this is a wrong way, but I do not force him. Let him or her knows. I say that this is the wrong way, and if you go, you may hit by cars and you may injure. I explain for them for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. When I see that he's not hearing me, so I stop talking and let him to go and be injured. Then after that, he come back to me again because now he is injured and he understand that he was wrong. So at that time, I can explain it more better and saying to them, I told you that your way was wrong, but you can't hear me. So try your best to hear me. Even if you don't want to follow me, at least you should hear me. And because I choose a good situation to remind me this point, so he may hear me in the future. Also, he didn't hear me in the past. So this is a kind of tolerance or al-wasatiyya, the tarbiyah, training our children. Now, when we come to the religion, maybe the same situation, everybody thinks that his way is true and the other way is wrong. So if we force them to become in our way, so he may think that I prevent him from his ideal. And he may have the emotion that I am a bad person because I prevent him or her to go to his chosen way. In this case, it's better for us to just explain once or twice by a book, by a written, by an article, that the right way is this. For example, those who choose to be extremists in Daesh, you can see, everybody knows that they are wrong. Sometimes we give her and kill him, not to be Daesh. No, we can't do it. If he take a gun at hand, maybe we do it. But if he has not gone only in his thinking, we should do the same way. I give you an example of extremists. So maybe we are forcing some people who are extremists. So in this kind, the al-wasatiyya, being at the middle, is the right way to explain our goodness, our truth to the others. Maybe they hear, maybe they do not hear. They can choose their way of life that they think that it is true. So it's the meaning of al-wasat. But the question again, the main question, is al-wasatiyya the best value we have in our life? Or we have another value which is much more better than al-wasatiyya? This is the question. So the main point is that when we want to understand the al-wasatiyya, what is the main concept of al-wasatiyya? What do you think? What is the main point of al-wasatiyya? I think that the main point is liberty of human being, which is one of the human.
Is it freedom?
Yeah, liberty or freedom. I use it instead by 1 minute. So liberty and freedom is a value of human life, and everybody likes to have it for own. If somebody prevents us from our freedom chosen or freedom choices, so we do not like it. Everybody wants to choose freely his options. Everybody likes to have the options on his or her hand to choose. So this is value. So it is a value when we are free of any other truths of life. It's a value and we observe them. But again, the question, is it we can put it at the top of our pyramid of values in our life, or something else is above than this. So I'll give you an example. Justice is a value. So a theft or thief, when they seize the property of your house, he wants to be free to do that because he's poor and maybe you are rich man. Okay, so a poor can come to your house and seize something from your house because of freedom. You say it's wrong. Why? While everybody should be free to do whatever they wish, but we do not accept this freedom. Why? Because it is against justice. Because I try my best of life. I teach, I work and gain something, but he doesn't work for this property. So if he wants to take this property without any kind of difficulties or ranch, pain. And without any pain, he wants to gain some kind of property. I didn't sleep for 10 hours and work and gain money, and then why this month? So nobody is allowed to take this property which I gain it by pain without any kind of pain. Okay? So you come to this point that liberty or freedom is not there. We cannot put it at the first of pyramid. We should put the justice above it. Okay? So is this anything above the justice? Can we find any kind of value in our life which we can put it above the justice? But it is very, very good question, and maybe you cannot find, I think, that if you look at the word worldly, not by religion, only worldly, only by this life, you don't pay attention to hereafter. If you pay attention to this world and your eyes was looking only on the world, so we can say that we do not have any kind of value above the justice. So justice is the most important value in our life. Maybe it's my idea. You can think and find something better than justice. So come to the question. Okay, what is al-wasatiyya? Al-wasatiyya means choosing their own way. So again, the question, we cannot say that this is the most important value in our life. Why? Because maybe someone can come and say that I can choose my own life. Say yes, you can choose. And they say I choose extremists, and I will not kill you because of your wrong thinking. We can see it in Daesh. ISIS was like this. It killed many people, not only Shia, Sunnis, and Yazidis. You know Yazidis? Yazidi are some kind of religion outside Islam or living at the north of Iraq. When they go, Daesh, ISIS. When the ISIS go to the north of Iraq, they kill all of their men and they capture their women. And there was a kind of choosing their own way. So we cannot accept this kind of religion because it is against the justice. Because everybody has the right to live, and nobody are allowed to take this right from human being. The right to live, the right to breathe, the right to be in my home, and nobody capture me. Very important value. Nobody can come and explain a kind of religion which takes me our life. So this is the wrong way. But again, what's the question? How can we stop this extremist while he would like to be freedom in his choosing? So it means that the liberty or freedom needs some kind of limitation. We accept freedom, but not freedom without limitation. We need some kind of limitation. What is the limitation of liberty? While we do not have, I think that we do not have any kind of limitation for justice. You cannot give me an example like this to say that justice is not a value in this case. Cannot find, according to me, cannot find an example of reaching justice which we accepted. While we find example that reaching freedom and it is acceptable for all of us, except for ISIS. Okay? So, when we come to this kind of situation, it's better to say that we have a kind of thinking in Western country which say that liberty is at the top of our pyramid of value. And they sometimes explain that this freedom has a limitation, which is the freedom of the others. So we accept freedom as the top of our pyramid, while this freedom has a kind of limitation, and limitation comes from itself, not from another concept. So this is the kind of thinking we call it liberalism. And when you talk about liberalism of the individual, not the society, because we have liberalism which refers to the society. But we have in Western country, especially in the United States and UK, that they are insist of individual liberalism. Individual liberalism, which was some philosophers are observing from this kind of thinking. What about Islamic point of view? This is the result of my speaking. Actually, I am coming to the end point. What was Islam you think about individual liberalism? I think that is at the top of the value pyramid in Islam is justice. If we look at the other world, because in Islam we think that it is not just this world. We have another world in the heaven. We have angels, we have God, we have prophet, and which is related not to this world, to the other world. And we believe in other world. So we have values that comes from God, comes from Quran, comes from prophet. But I'm not talking about that. Because I think just one point, which needs on our talking, that Qurbatan ilallah. When you pray, you say 2 rakat of so I pray for the sake of Allah. Qurbatan ilallah. This is the most important value in our life, according to Islam. We come closer to God. Whenever we come closer to God, we are in happiness in this world and hereafter. Okay? Well, I'm not talking about the second world, just talking about this world, because now we are talking about those who believe in individual liberalism. So, what is the Islamic point of view? We say that in answer. The answer is that we accept liberty with a limitation, but the limitation of liberty is not its own liberty, something else. And this is, we call it the limitation of Allah. Dudu Ilahi. In Quran says that فَمَنْ يَتَعَدَّ حُدُودَ اللَّهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. It means that those who go beyond the limitation of God, they are cruel people. What's the meaning of cruelty? Cruelty is against justice. So again, we come to the meaning of justice as the head of pyramid. And Quran says that when you are cruel, it means it is the same with when you go beyond the limitation of Allah, order of Allah. So when we look at the meaning of order of Allah, we should keep all of the order because He wants us to be happy in hereafter. So the limitation of clear limitation of God is very important in our life, and freedom is a value if we observe the limitation of God. If we observe according to Islam, I'm talking about according to Islam. So liberty is the second level of our value. At the top is justice, which is against cruelty. And whoever do not want to be cruel should observe the limitation of liberty, which refers to God. إِنَّا هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلَ إِمَّا شَاكِرًا وَإِمَّا كَفُورًا. It means that we show you the good way of life. You may accept, you may reject. So in this case also Islam accepts the choice of human being. Because without choice, this is force. And with force, we can not go to the or closer to God. Then we can choose, then we can come closer to Allah. But when we force, this is not good. We force to pray, we force to have fast. This is not fasting. And nobody can pray by force. Nobody can force by fasting. Even if you put someone in prison and don't give him water and food, it is not fasting because he is not accept that as a goodness. So it is not acceptable for someone to be forced to fast. So observing the order of God should be by choose. And if by choose, then it is ibadah. It is a prayer. Okay. Then, in summary, what was I told? In summary, the first living value is justice. The first hereafter value is coming closer to God. The liberty is a value, but it is not at the top of our values. So al-wasatiyya is good when we observe the rule of Allah. And nobody allows, for example, to gamble, because gambling is against the order of God. Nobody can abort his child because abortion is a kind of killing against the order of Allah. And so and so and so. So we have many orders from God. We accept liberty and freedom, except when it's reaching the order of Allah, like these two examples, gambling, or drinking wine, or abort our children. So these are things that we cannot accept as value. So I try my best to example the situation of liberty and freedom in our life and how we can comport with the Western value, which nowadays at the hand of our children in mobile. Yeah, they are looking to many things that it is not allowed according to Islamic law. They are doing many things maybe that are not allowed according to law of God. Okay? And then we should try our best to train our children and understand that individual liberalism is not acceptable according to Islamic value. And wasatiyya, it means that we should be individual liberalism is rejected. But if it is at the border of Allah border, so it is acceptable and is built at the second level of values in Islam. Thank you very much for your hearing, and thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you very much. And a big applause for Ayatollah as General Secretary Majma' Iran. Thank you very much, sir, for inspiring great view about the value of Islam, about the value of religious federation. Maybe I just put some points of your talk here about the value in Islam point of view, about the concept of freedom and also concept of justice. One thing I just highlighted from the beginning of the talk, that how religion can live hand in hand together in peace. That's the life we dream of beyond the diversity. Indonesia have kind of, motto we say that unity in diversity. So it's really a great talk. Yeah, okay, it's really inspiring. I would like to hear more about your talk about the value and diversity in the next future. Thank you again very much for your coming to BRIN, Dr. Ayatollah Sahdari, and this is a good talk. Ladies and gentlemen, invite guest attendees, ladies and gentlemen, and also another speaker. So might be could be a 3 speaker actually, but consider the time, might be we just have another one more speaker. So the speaker is Dr. Anis Rahmawati from the Center for Religious Harmony and Moderation. So the time is about 15 minutes. So it's going to be a very short talk, 15 minutes for that. So I would like to welcome Anis Rahmawati to give the presentation. So the time is yours and also the floor is yours. Thank you very much, Anis Rahmawati.
Terima kasih Bu Ade atas kesempatan yang diberikan kepada kami untuk sedikit menyampaikan terkait dengan moderasi. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to say a few words about religious moderation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable Secretary General of Majma' Takrim Bainal Mazahib, Professor Dr. Ayatollah Sahdari, and all delegation from Iran, and the Honorable Ambassador from Islam Iran, Dr. Mahdi, and the Honorable Director of ICC, Islamic Cultural Center, Prof Dr. Abdol Majid Hakimelah, and all team from ICC, Ustaz Akmal and Ustaz Safin. Dr. Herry Yogaswara, the Chairman of Research Organization for Arkeologi, Language and Literature, with all team from Arbastra, head of the research centers, Sastri, Fahri, Dr. Sun, my colleague Dr. Salman, Prof Murtado, and Dr. Agus, and all dearest invited guests. It's kind of honor for me to be here with all of the amazing people to attend the important event this morning. I think MoU between ICC and BRIN, and also have a discussion about religious moderation. But Mutia, maybe can you help me to? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Haji Sopanuddin. I'm from Research Center for Religion and Belief. In this special occasion, I will present a few words about promoting Wasatiyatul Islam, whose idea from my host, Dr. Najib. My leader is the chairman of the Institute of Social Sciences and Humanities, one of the research organizations in BRIN. Next one. Promoting Wasatiyatul Islam in this context is mean promoting religious moderation. As we know, since President Jokowi administration started, the Indonesian government has intensively carried out various programs to promote and strengthen religious moderation. MORA, or Indonesian Ministry of Religious Affairs, is the leading and the main actor in the program's implementation. There are hardly zero programs within the ministry unless associated with term of Moderasi Beragama. For example, the ongoing program Religious Moderation House or Rumah Moderasi Beragama on every campus under MORA like UIN, YIN, STAIN, Tinggi Agama Islam, Stapen, and so on, is program. The Religious Moderation Pioneer Mosque atau Masjid Pelopor Moderasi Beragama, and Moderate Religious Instructor, Religious Moderation Quranic Interpretation, Moderation Village, Moderation Ambassador in Madrasah, Religious Moderation Literacy, and so on. Almost all program in MORA is always associated with the term of religious moderation. In strengthening religious moderation, MORA has also created and developed a roadmap for religious moderation 2021 until 2024. For example, in this year, 2023, it's predicted that community participation in strengthening religious moderation will increase. Meanwhile, in next year, 2024, it's expected that there will be affirmation and appreciation of the state with religious moderation perspective, decreased number of religious conflict, and the rise of religious harmony. Next one. As I said just now, that almost all program in MORA is always associated with the term of Moderasi Beragama. Next. Moderasi Beragama is always present in every government program. So there is a joke, there is similar to famous advertisement, like a commercial drink. Whatever the food, apapun makanannya, the drink is definitely Moderasi Beragama. According to Ulil Ansor Abdallah, Religious moderation can be regarded as appropriate means to undertake religious sebelumnya.
One slide before this.
Lagi satu lagi.
Yes.
Religious extremism and radicalism. Next one. Next one. The concept of religious moderation. The word moderation derived from the Latin moderatio, which means not excess or not deficiency. In Arabic, it's known as wasat or wasatiyah, which has the same meaning with tawazun and i'tidal. In Arabic, wasatiyah defined as the best option. The opposite of moderation is excessive, or in Arabic, tatarruf, wudu means extreme and radical. So the concept of religious moderation is not to moderate religion. It's not to moderate religion, but to moderate the way people understand and practice religious teaching in the context of living together in diverse and pluralistic society. So this is a book it's not correct. This is for example, the book is not correct, but not moderasi agama, but moderasi beragama. Like
The second edition will change.
Next one. Religious moderation is the middle path, not the extreme left. I mean the liberalism, or extreme right. I mean the fundamentalism. The goal is to create religious harmony as basic capital to strengthen relational harmony. According to Gus Ulil, the sanad or the genealogy of religious moderation comes from Islam, Nahdlatul Ulama, and reformist figures like Nurholis Majid, Abdol Majid, and Johan Effendi. But according to the chairman of MLKI, Majelis Luhur Kepercayaan Indonesia, Pak Enggus Ruswana, religious moderation and living in harmony with different beliefs has been applied for a long time in the life, in the gesture of the Indonesian people since the day of ancient civilization. In the history of Indonesian Islam, religious moderation in the Nusantara has been practiced since the Wali Songo era, the famous named saint of Java in 14th century. The moderation developed by Wali Songo is not only a matter of adapting Islam to local culture, but also introducing Islamic value and teaching that promote dialogue as well as avoiding violence and tolerating other religions. So as a program, the religious moderation, as we know, was introduced by LHS. I mean, Lukman Hakim Saifuddin is the Ministry of Religious Affairs 2014 until 2017. How about the next one? How about the Islam Wasatiyah or Wasatiyatul Islam? The word wasat, according to Quraisy Shihab, in its various form is found 5 times in the Quran, all of which contain the meaning of being between two and berada di antara dua ujung. The word wasat is found in Al-Baqarah, Al-Ma'idah, Al-Qalam, Al-Adiyat, wa kadzalika ja'alnakum ummatan wasata. Wasatiyah contains several means, fair, the best choice, the most important, being moderate, middle between excessive and defensive, and in everything. In Islamic teaching, wasatiyah exists in the 3 main teaching regions, Aqidah, Syariah, and Akhlaq, or ethics. For example, in faith, in Aqidah, wasatiyah is the middle between Jabariyah and Qadariyah. In our worldview, I mean Pancasila is form of wasatiyah between the extreme, the secular state, Spartan religion, and state affair or theocracy, ad-din wa daulah. Wasatiyah is between the extreme Islamic state and secular state. So the context of Indonesia, Islam and democracy are compatible. in every election in Indonesia is always peace. Islam and democracy have always gone hand in hand. In all aspects, extreme or tataruf or wulu in Arabic, not allowed for all aspects of life. And the last, the promoting wasatiyatul Islam. Wasatiyah is balance in the all matter of duniawi and ukhrawi life that must always be accompanied by effort to adjust to the situation at hand based on religious guidance and objective condition experience. Wasatiyah is the balance based on the principle of neither excess nor deficiency. According to Pak Sihab, Wasatiyah is characterized by the three: knowledge or science, and the virtue and the balance. That's my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the great presentation, Mr. Aji Sopanuddin, as the head of the Center for Religious Harmony and Moderation. Okay, one thing I point of view about your talk, Pak Aji, that religious moderation is living in harmony. So really, really beautiful view, Pak Aji. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, invite guests and attendees. Actually, we have very limited time, but I would like still also invite Ibu Paharyati still to give the talk.
Thank you, Father. Since our delegation have to leave to other programs, by permission of Dr. Paharyati, we want to ask your permission, since our Excellency Dr. Abdullah Shahriari has appointment in the National University of Indonesia. They are waiting for us half an hour more. We have to be there. So you can ask permission from Professor Dr. Abdul Hakimelah.
Okay,
And lunch in Pak Herry for you and the
Yes, please, we are going to listen to our speaker, Dr. Paharyati. We are listening, but very short speech, I'm sure.
Wow.
As usually, ladies don't want to speak too much.
Thank you.
Short, and also, so this whole national university that will be educated, because we have to respect the ladies.
Thank you very much for the time.
Everybody leaning on the care and on the supervision of the ladies.
One point, I think that the value of observing the ladies is much more important than the value of keeping promises.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have one distinguished speakers and very short and brief presentation will be given by Ibu Paharyati, researcher from Research Center for Manuscript Literature and Oral Tradition, and also she is also Executive Director of Management of Social Parliamentary UNESCO. Thank you very much. Ibu Paharyati, the floor is yours. Could be a brief and short presentation. Thank you very much.
Very quickly. 1 minute. 1 minute?
Thank you for the time. How to make it short? The honorable experts in this meeting, allow me to speak maybe for 5 minutes, let's say, on the theme of my presentation. Sure. The title is Rumi's Religious Moderation and Transformation to the Secular Good. So I talk about Rumi, Jalaluddin Rumi, as an expert from Persian, if I'm not mistaken. This is based on my previous research that I have done in 2019.
Make it bigger.
Okay. I think I have to go through very quickly. I had prepared my slides actually for 10 slides, but it was impossible to speak too much. I just skipped, like let's say for the Rumi, we can skip it. And the work of Rumi also, and we can go to the slide of 5 slides, the 5th slide. That is about Rumi as a moderate Sufi word figure. So, if you know about Rumi, we can conclude that there are 4 things that he has teach us about humanism, and then how to use and maintain the heart. And the final one is to reach universal law, and all of this bring on moderation. So I read many of his work, like humanism in Rumi's perspective, how to maintain balance and good relation between people. And there is an example here I wrote, and you can see if I cannot read it, since it takes time. And then how to maintain harmonization, avoiding conflict. So the example I give here is when the Rumi teach his son, that if you want to be in the heaven, be friend with everyone. So it means we have to avoid everything that harm to others and do not talk bad, teach bad, and think bad. So you will always be enjoyed if you mention others with friend lines. And the joy is the heaven itself. This is the example. And then how to use and maintain our heart. Here also an example how to treat our heart, to be loved with each other. But for him, the love, the highest love is love to Allah or to God. So we have to able to avoid our heart from any impurity. So all of Rumi's teaching, it's about the heart. So Rumi takes a great care about the heart and does not make it dirty, because it is like a lamp of this life. A heart that dusty won't reflect anything. And you know that in Rumi's tomes, it is also written that when we are dead, so don't seek it in our tomb, but seek it in the heart of a man. And also for the visitor to Rumi's tomb from different nations and from different religions, they taught us that Rumi is in our heart. So how important to maintain or to treat our heart for Rumis. And there is also love in the concept. So beside heart, and then we need to take love in each other, and because of the love, we can gain everything. We can make us higher spirit. And I would like to show you about anecdotes. Actually, there is teaching on being wise and tolerant. The story of the Prophet Musa and Spirit on Mount Sinai Mount seeking God. So the Spirit, he wanted to be close to his God at all costs. He wept and hoped that God was behind him. He would do anything for his God as long as God was beside him. It is said that he said, "Where is God?" ready to serve him in any form. But you know, Musa or Moses heard this and angry because God cannot be compared with humans. At that moment, God rebukes Musa or Moses. He said that I never look at people by their outward appearance and shape, but it is the soul within a person and their heart that I look at. The words spoken might be simple and meaningless, but it is humility that counts. A word is a coincidence, but the heart is substantial. Okay, and then this is I just show you about the concept of moderation when I found it in Konya, and also there are some words that treat us about how to be moderate. So Konya, we can conclude that Konya is very moderate city. And the transformation of Rumi's doctrine, we can see also in our country. There are Maulawiyah order, and then also we can find Sema. Sema is like what we call it, Tarian Sufia. We can find it everywhere, especially in Aceh, for instance. And that's what has transformed the doctrine of Sumi itself. And here is the last one. Is about what we have done. Yeah. This is a book actually we have produced and we have published it about the Jalaluddin Rumi. Religious ministry affair, and one side is about my article about the same itself.
Thank you very much for the great talk, Ibu Paharyani. It seems to me that the highlighted is Rumi's teaching is about heart and Rumi's teaching about love. So love is the key for living in harmony. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a very beautiful closing from Ibu Paharyani. Actually, that we want to have question and answer talk, but actually we don't have time for that, right? So I think that I would like to thank again for distinguished speaker, Professor Dr. Ayatullah Sahriai as General Secretary for Majma Kegiatan. Thank you very much again for your coming here, and thank you again for all another speakers, Pak Aji Somanudin as Aji Somanudin, also Bu Paharyani for the good talk as well, and thank you all delegation from Republic and Ambassador from Iran. It is really good talk. We would like to have another meeting the next future, I guess. So really thank you very much for your coming to BRIN and welcome to our term of agreement. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you also for we want to take a picture together as a politician. This is as something to remember. Beautiful. If hands off from the law.
Actually, this
Materinya dari sini. Materinya dari sini.
Boleh nanti saya.
Mas Haji. Baru
Ya, oleh Dr. Sayyidnya.
Also, this is our sign of organization.
Okay.
This is also some first translation.
Nice to meet you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Our excellent researcher.
Oke, itu ya di kita pakai Zoom meeting saya
Bawa ke ruangan Herry.
ya sini biar rame nih. Mas, ayo makan dulu Mas. Mana sini nih? Sini aja. Mana? 400 ya.
Terima kasih.